Ja, hallo zusammen. Wir sind auf der Billy Joel Bühne hier in Frankfurt und bei mir ist der David Rosenthal, der Musical Director, und er wird uns jetzt ein bisschen durch sein Equipment führen. So David, this is your stage. You're
Yes.
part of the stage.
Welcome to my world.
Yes.
Welcome to my world here, yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing view. It's better than a beach house probably.
Exactly, yeah. And 40,000 of my closest friends will be here shortly.
Yeah, we can wait to see the show tonight. So, yeah, this is your office for tonight.
Exactly, yes, yes. Yeah.
So
Just another day at the office.
Yeah. So please tell us which instruments, which gear do you use and how do you use it?
Sure. So basically, everything up here on the stage is a controller, and it's the rack is down below the stage where the sounds are generated from. I'll show you that in a minute, but first I'll show you what's up here. The main controller here is the K2600, and the way I change my patches is through using the iPad. So I have here, all I have to do is just put the songs in the order of the show, and I step through them, and this changes, there's a couple of cheat sheets in here, everything you need, and this changes the keyboard here, and then the keyboard sends the program changes to everything. So I have a K2661 and also a Phantom G6, the other controller. And down here is the Roland PK5As, the MIDI bass pedals. So all of these are controllers, and they're represented here on the on this here by each one of the different controllers. And then this represents the pedals. They didn't have a pedals icon, so I had to use a little bitty keyboard.
We should tell them.
Yeah, I did. So hopefully it'll come at some point. So now this computer here is not actually running main stage. This is just screen sharing. So underneath the stage, I have the two backup systems. There were two systems running at the same time, one backup system. And then so this is my A system, and this is the B system. So I can see both computers exactly what they're doing, and I can make sure that everything is on the right setting, and I just go back and forth using screen sharing. So that's all this is doing. So I have a window to what's going on underneath. Across the bottom here, the iPad changes the song and sends the first program change, the initial program change. But then if there's a song that I have to do with program changes in the middle of it, let's say, for example, Italian Restaurant has a lot of patches in it. So this calls up the initial patch, and then I step through all the rest of them from here. The strings, then we have the Dixieland, and so on and so forth. And I map the trombone slides to the volume pedal, so I do that. And you keep just stepping through. I step through each one of the things, all the big brass, the strings, the horns, and so on and so forth. And I keep stepping through, and then I have a backwards one if I make a mistake. Volume, sustain. This is to talk back for the band. And then here, if I have, this is my main stage A-B switch. So all of the outputs are live at the same time. Both systems are running at the same time, but only one set of outputs is live at a time. So if I'm on the A system here, if something goes wrong with the computer, I simply switch to B and I just keep playing, and then I can have my tech restart the A system if I need to, or whatever needs to be done. Then I have both main stage systems are going into the radial switcher. That's what's switching that. Mm-hmm. And then the output of that is going into another switcher, which switches between the active main stage setup and the outputs of the Kurzweil. So if both main stage systems go down, then I just simply switch this, and I turn off the MIDI. So now this is not transmitting any MIDI anywhere, so I don't have any issues. And now just the outputs of the Kurzweil are live, so I can, if the whole thing goes down, I can still play this keyboard and continue going. So that doesn't really happen very often, but in a case of emergency, it's there. And then, of course, I have the Hammond XK3C, which is going through my Leslie 147, which is under the stage. And this is not MIDI'd to anything intentionally. So if everything blows up, I can still play organ.
Okay. So let's see what you got below the stage.
One thing I forgot was my back. In the back here is my spare iPad. So on this, during the show, I leave all the songs in alphabetical order. So if he calls a song that's not in the set list, I can jump to it quickly. And then if it doesn't work, I have a chart here of where everything is, so I can always find my way around quickly, no matter what we have.
That's cool. So now we're under the stage with your computers and all the stuff where the sounds come from.
Right. So everything lives in main stage, and as I was explaining before up there on the riser, everything is a duplicate here. There are two complete systems running in real time. There's an A rig and a B rig, and they are identical except for the A and the B here. And that's, as I was able to show you before, that I see them from the stage using screen sharing. And but this is where they're all going. And it's two computers, but I only have one set keyboard and one mouse. I can switch between them here by using the switch. I could have switched it onto the same monitor, but I purposely did it this way so that I never have any confusion when I'm editing as to which system I'm editing on. Keeps it nice and clean. In the rack here, two Thunderbolt docks, one for each system. Each system has two ultralight AVBs to accommodate all the outputs that I'm sending to the house. And then the two of the Express XTs here, and one for each system. And then, as I mentioned before, was the two radios. This one switches between the outputs of each of the main stage systems, which I can control via an AB box from the stage, controlling this remotely. And then this one switches between them, whichever is the current main stage rig, and the outputs of the Kurzweil. And then it goes to the house from there. So that way I can switch anything for any redundancy that I need. And the two Mac Pros that are powering each system, the A and the B, and this is all of the Ethernet networking that I have going, and of course a UPS.
Yeah.
So that's it. Oh, and I skipped over these. These are the two drive bays. So these are Thunderbolt drive bays, one for each computer, and they house all of the different solid state drives that I'm using for each system.
Yeah, more than 20 years of songs mean a lot of sounds.
Yeah, his stuff, I'm using MainStage, but the sounds are all from my modules that I carried for all those many years. Everything from the from FM with the Yamaha DX7s to analog stuff from the Moogs and Roland, all through the years. His music spans 30 years of different technologies. So my job is to make it sound authentic, but I don't want to carry all this gear anymore. And I used to have, just to carry one set of all that gear, this giant rack. And now I have here in a fraction of the space, two complete systems. But I have actually, using Auto Sampler, I've captured all of my sounds from those things. So you're hearing that. I'm using some of the sounds from MainStage, and I'm using also Complete 9. I think 10 is the current one, but I'm using
11 is since yesterday.
No, since yesterday, okay. But I don't never need to be the first guy on my block to use the brand new version. This is working, and we're in process, so everything kind of stays put. And then I have all of my own sounds, so everything is now captured with a few thousand hours of work, and now after that, at the touch of the button, it comes up instantly.
That's a real great system, and we can't wait to see the show tonight.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, David.
Okay, guys, take care.